Sorry, folks. We had a technical. Okay, good. My phone's been updated. Sorry, we had some technical difficulties there. Just as I went live, Android wants to update my phone. We got two choices, yes and not now. So I touch not now because I'm going live right now, but it does it anyways. The wonders of our technology. Hit no and it says yes and does it anyway. Back to our intro. I know what's going on. I know their tactics. And I just laugh and continue forward. Sorry, folks. Had technical difficulties there. 5x5 kinda. It can be very frustrating. Put a lot of work and stuff into this. Get timing just right. And then they're like, no, let's just do your update right now anyways. It's all good. I was able to pull up Solar Ham. We'll see it tonight. This is Italy getting hammered here. I was gonna do Saturday Night Live theme, but or Saturday Night Fever, my bad. A little disco theme, but that didn't work out as well either. Howdy, folks. Welcome back. I told you I would be back. Famous line. But somebody meant it. All right, while we're getting adjusted here and getting a loop plan, I want to thank you all for coming here and spending a little bit of your precious time with this precious family. And if you stick around for the spiritual report, you'll know what I mean. Okay, so here we go. June 22nd, 2024. Last night we reported on our big object right here. Okay, it's hiding back here. You can see it bending light right here. This is plasma bending over our round object. Okay, it also has satellites that are triggering some CMEs along the side of it. And last night we found this image, and let me just kind of slide it over. I'm dimming this a little bit. It's too bright. Here we go. Last night we saw this triangle shape right here. Almost looks like a triangle shaped object, kind of draped in plasma. There's plasma going around the outside edge of it, it looks like. I don't know. I'll let you be the judge of that, okay? But meantime, we got our bigger object back here. It's all dark back in there, but you can see plasma going in a round circular pattern right here. Okay, I believe this is our object. You see here, let me zoom out, and you can see our wider spread. Let me brighten that back up here. And then we pull it over. You can see our wider spread from here all the way down to here. So our object's right in there, carrying a bunch of moons and stuff along with it. Now what I'm going to do is put this into motion, and we'll let the whole loop play there for a second while you guys get all settled in. Yes, we rescue animals, and they are extremely grateful. They make for good, loyal pets. They understood that they've been rescued, and they're thankful. Kind of like humans are supposed to be thankful when they're rescued, right? Because somebody's coming to the rescue here. All right, meantime, there's your loop plan. We also got some like inward stuff moving inward down in the lower region here. Okay, I believe as these objects approach, what we're looking at is them approaching the sun, approaching, hitting the magnetic field or whatever, and then they ricochet off at different angles. Okay, so let that loop play for a second there. Then we'll catch the opening frame, and we'll go through this frame by frame. Okay, so first we're going to catch the opening. Whoa, 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 whoa. Not even close. There we go. Opening frame 024. You can see our triangle object still right here. Let's go ahead and just zoom in on these two frames first. Here you can see our round object is back in here. All right, you can see plasma light bending over it. Okay, these things they're so dark, they're invisible, only visible when draped with plasma. Okay, and you can see the instrument reacting to it here. Well, let's pull it over here now. And what I want to do here, let's get the lines out of the way first, because I don't like that. There we go. Then we're going to dim this a little bit. Whoa. Okay. Back in here, you can see our darker object, the plasma going over. These things are so dark, they don't reflect light, okay? So you can't see them. They're invisible. The only way you can see it is when it interacts with the sun. I'm getting on wavy lines again. That's a little better. And draw plasma. The magnetic field from these objects draws plasma off of the sun, and then the plasma drapes over the object. Okay, much like I've shown you before. You can see some of these little moons here, and here's our triangle-shaped object with a bunch of plasma around it. Now let's see if I can. There's our next frame right there. Let me slide it over a little bit there. and down. All right, that looks pretty good right there. Okay, and you can see we have like a triangle shaped structure, and it's illuminated, got plasma all the way around it. Let's kind of go, well, ooh, right there. You can see our black spheroid back here. And, you know, some of these objects, these bigger ones like this with the accompanying moons, they're little solar systems. They're little, you know, miniature solar systems. They're not as spread out as ours is. And if our solar system has life, well, some of these accompanying solar systems might have life as well. If there's life living around this star, who's to say that there can't be life living around this star, and they're rotating around ours? So if this sustains life, maybe that's what they're utilizing too. Anyways, it appears to be some kind of triangle craft right here. I dare you to come over here and check it out yourself. Okay, I'll let you be the judge, but we'll just get as tight in as we can on this. Let me get the little lines out of there. Oh, please, Lord, help me. Okay, we'll get it here in just a second. I can just see on my camera here, it's all twisted. There we go. There's a good shot right there. And you can see our black planet back in the background there. All right, you see the plasma draping over it up in here. All right, here's the edge of the surface of our black spheroid back there, and plasma is blasting it and going over the top of it, okay? And you can see this flow over on this side reaching out to it. All right, got the triangle craft, you know, kind of in the middle here. Oh, well, I guess I'm just not going to have any luck on it. Well, we captured it there a little bit for a minute. How's it looking for you guys? Do they have to go into quarantine? Oh, you guys are talking about dogs and pets, adopted pets. Right there's probably about our best. I've got all this shifting around and stuff. I think maybe it's this. All right, so right there's a pretty good image of it captured. We can even kind of slide on over to here, and it's just so much plasma that just blinds the camera. But you can see right here this white triangle structure. Yeah, here in the background you can really see the edge of it right back in there. All right, so let me pull back a little bit here. We're zoomed in pretty tight. All right, so there it is back there in the background, hiding out, causing the CME with some kind of triangle craft accompanying it. So let me just pull this down just a little bit. And then that's our opening frames. Then as we continue out, this thing moves on out of frame. So at this point, you can see this triangle right here, just the edges of it sticking out, you know, half in frame and half out of frame. Over here on the dark side, on the ghost image here, caught something. Okay, you see these edges right here. There's a sharp triangle edge right there. And that was the ghost image of that other image we just saw in the red. So, like I said, you can come over here too. Check it out. I dare you. You might see some stuff that I'm not even pointing out. All right, so let's continue on. So let's get on over here to our solar ham. Okay, they did a new layout, so we're just going to kind of go with it. Our solar flux index is at 196. We're 4 shy of 200 and going into the red. We're down 1 point, so it was 197. We only dropped 1, so it's basically right around the same level. Sunspot numbers starting to increase, though. We're up 6 to 139. The area, even though it's in red, is good because it's spreading out these big old sunspots. Pop this open and we will zoom in here. Okay, here's our regions just about to break over the limb here. It looks like they passed our IMF line connection and we didn't get any kind of explosion or anything like that. So far, so good. Going back. Oh, actually, we can just go like this now. Okay, here's your GOES X-ray flux. All right, here's today. Here's my opportunity to get. Why don't we have the waving lines tonight? Lord. Just that one angle, that sweet spot. And of course, on a laptop, you have to push it just a tad bit further so it can recoil back, and then pull it just a tad bit further forward so it can recoil backward. Ugh. All right. Anyways, here we go. There's your GOES X-ray flux. We had our M flare today right here. Here's tomorrow, and we're going into another event, another M flare here. Would you like to go look at this maybe? See if it's been posted and see if the link's up there? No, you don't want to? Well, let's give it a shot anyway, because last night we got pleasantly surprised. Let's see if we can get this to turn blue. Nope, no data. What about stereo A? Nothing. Let's just check out our event from stereo A, shall we? Because sometimes this captures. Nothing going on there. Nope, I don't see no dark object wrapped with plasma in this scene. It's not like blatantly obvious, just this big. We're too zoomed in. Let me just pull back right about there. Okay, pretty hard to miss. But if you don't know what's going on, you would look at this and not even think. You'd be looking at this little white spot. Everybody looks where the light is. They don't see the dark spheroid draped in plasma here. And you see the plasma reaching out right here, going over it, bending light. Okay, this is plasma going over a spheroid object. It's so dense. It's reached a certain composite level where it turns, well, into dark matter. This is matter that does not reflect light. It's so densely packed. It's well, almost like a neutron star. There's hardly any room for electrons and protons to move about. So as soon as electron can't rotate, it gets kicked out. When a negative charge or positive charge leaves, the other charge, the opposing charge, follows with, leaving just the neutron. Neutrons packed together so densely, so dense, a teaspoon of this would outweigh the planet. A teaspoon of this material would outweigh the Earth. That's how dense this material is. Okay. And I was watching Neil deGrasse talk about a black hole, and if you went through and you came out the other side, dude, spare me. Do not listen to these clowns that claim to be astrophysicists. They are blowing smoke up your ass. A black hole is not a hole. It's so densely packed. Okay, it has so much gravity that light cannot escape from it. Therefore, when light cannot escape, that means light cannot reflect off of it, making it invisible. Do you understand? When light cannot reflect off of something, you cannot see it? But these things interact with our sun, and the sun, much like a tablecloth over an invisible table, drapes over these dark black objects, round spheroids, and paints the target. It goes around it. It drapes over it. Okay, so you can see your tightly packed, densely packed spheroid. Now, it doesn't matter how big they are, they have reached that level. Some of these, I believe, are stellar cores. It's the dense part of a dead planet, or the core of a planet, or the core of a star. Something that is super, super dense in the first place. All right. There's a good shot of it right there. Of one of them. Okay. Something you need to consider. This white circle represents the size of the sun. Not the black circle, the white one. That looks to be bigger than the sun. And that's just one of the small ones. I showed you the bigger one, right? That is the big one, I think, and we're just seeing it from a different angle. I will show you in this over here what angle we're looking from. All right, back to this though. So we're having another event right here that we can't witness right now, so that's okay. We'll save it for tomorrow. We got that image right there from stereo A. That's good enough. All right, now back to reporting here, okay? Geomagnetic forecast, nothing for the next 3 days. That's good, okay? I don't want to see any unexpected stuff, but at this channel, we expect the unexpected, okay? So when a G2 happens, when there's nothing coming our way, it doesn't surprise people at this channel. We understand we have passing objects that bring their own radiation with them. If it makes a close swing by us or connects with our IMF line somehow, it could send energy down the line, and we get this weird little unexpected geomagnetic storm out of nowhere. All right, flare events. They've changed all this up now, so whatever. 15% on your X flares, 60% on your M flares. Your sunspot list is now here. Okay, so here's 12, 13, and 16. 13 still beta, gamma, delta, but they're all declining. These ones are the ones that are growing. We got 19 through 22. Okay. Our KP index nice and quiet right now. We're not taking on a bunch of energy from the sun, so that's good. You know me, we don't need any more energy coming off of the sun and our planet absorbing more radiation down at the core level. Okay, it's just not good. It's just not good. I've explained several times why, and we will get to that again. Again, with your auroras right here, they're nice and weak. Well, they're pretty faint right now, so that's good. Let's open up the tracker real quick. We will get to that article in just a sec. Okay, let me pull that up. Now, we have our little CME coming off this way. All right, so say this little yellow thing was our planet, and it's going, or our object, okay? So if it's passing this way, the sun reacts there, doesn't mean that the object itself is going that way. It could be traveling this direction, and when it crosses this line, pretend this is a magnetic field line around the sun's there's like concentric rings of magnetic field going out from the sun, right? Well, this can represent those. So say we have our object bump this magnetic field line, their frequencies exchange, causing a spark, and then the continuation of the trajectory like this. Then when we get to this point, it's a lot closer to Earth. It could go by like this, hit the backside of our IMF line, and give us a little jolt. Okay. Now, you can see what direction our little CME was heading. No big deal. So right now, let's back out of this and do this article. A large eruption of plasma was just observed from behind the east limb, beginning at 2330. Okay, that was just this the very one that we try to look at. So look at this big old string of plasma coming off of there. All right, so this latest one right here, that's not 2313. No, I think they're probably talking this one because this one's still so fresh. I don't think they would have the data up for that. Yeah, this is June 21st. So, a large eruption of plasma on the east limb beginning 23 on the 21st. Because this event took place off the limb, resulting coronal mass ejection will be directed away from our planet. Okay, moving on. So, how are we doing in the chat over here? Trippy. Almost looks like Mason symbol. Cool. All right. So, bang through this real quick. All right. Something flare Y comes this way. Flary comes this way. Wait until we start getting Y flares and W flares and. No, I'm joking. A Y flare? Why? Because we like you. All right. Just going to be one of those nights, I guess, with wavy lines and me battling them. Oh, well. So let's get to our article. There's a sunspot group just behind the sun's eastern limb, so large that it affects the way the whole sun vibrates. Did you hear that? There is a sunspot so large it affects the whole sun's vibrations. The helioseismic echoes, we'll look at that, suggest it will rotate into view early this week. Do you hear that? Big sunspot rotate into view early this week. NASA's Solar Dynamics Observatory is already observing debris flying over the eastern limb. Debris? Let's go see these. Okay, so right here, these are your seismic echoes. This is the size of the, or this, well, the surface of the sun we can see. This is the limb, goes around behind. Do you see what's coming over here, coming into view? You don't? You don't see the big black area that's going to be cresting the limb here soon? That's another area that just rotated out of view. This is probably, this could be old 6479, and it'll get a new number. Okay. The helioseismology is just like seismology on Earth. There are sunquakes. So they use the echoes, the seismological echoes. That's a tough word. To formulate a little map. Okay, we don't have stereo A and B on the backside to look at anymore. So here's a new way of kind of the best guesstimation from from helioseismic activity. This one is changed the vibration of the sun. This is causing a different tune, different note to come out of the sun, a different vibration. Okay. So let's go back to that. The helioseismic echoes suggest it will rotate into view early this week. NASA's Solar Dynamics is observing debris flying over the eastern limb, a possible sign of explosive activity in the approaching sunspot group. Debris, shall we? Oh, plasma. Yeah, debris. Yeah, we got a big old string of plasma coming out of that right there because of probably interacted with the big old object again. Remember how these things come in threes? And we just saw one of the big ones, so there's probably a second one coming that caused, this next little flare or whatever our latest event here is. Guess we're just gonna have to fight it all night. All right. Busy intersection. Yeah, you can read this article. He was taking pictures of the sunspot and a jet flew through. Okay, moving on to the Schumann. And good news, really, to report. Can we? Thank you, Lord. Okay. As you can see, we're cruising along, had some scraping, had our intense here. We recovered that last night, little scraping, and then nice, good day. Nice continuity, pressure built up. Look at it's kind of a tapering, it built up. We had an event right there that kind of cut the buildup off for a second. Then it continued, the pressure continued, and then tapered off. All right, pretty not smooth, but we had a pretty quick rise in pressure and then a pretty quick one, a pretty quick drop off. All right, so after that, we're putting along pretty smooth, nice continuity. Everybody should be feeling a little bit better. So this changing in frequencies, changing in intensity of frequencies, multiple frequencies, very intense is like, imagine having every radio station on your stereo in your car playing. It's playing every AM, every FM station. Multiple stations are playing, all garbled together. You're hearing commercials mixed with songs, and then all of a sudden somebody comes and turns the whole volume up. Your bass and everything, and now all that is screaming in your ears. So it can be a lot. It can be, induce a lot of confusion, dizziness, pain. Some people feel energetic, but it's really the heartbeat of the earth. This is the core spinning inside the shell, generating the electromagnetic field that propagates out of it. Okay. Much like the little blue fields you see, the little force fields in Star Wars. If you had like a small little, almost like a alternator type engine, a small little rotating engine that has a lot of magnetic, force and torque, you can generate a pretty good magnetic field with that, and it'll divert your radiation. Right, radiation travels on magnetic field lines, so you can make your own magnetic field lines with that if you wanted to. But that's how the dynamo inside the earth works, and it generates our 7.83 hertz hum. Okay, much like your electrical hum that you hear around high voltage power lines, the zzz, the hum. Well, when you hum that's a note. It's a musical note. It's a frequency. It's a vibration. There we go. That's maybe good right there. So 7.83 is the note, the vibration that our Earth hums at. And when there's disruptions in that, it can cause disruptions in you. Okay. And when the field gets weak, like way over here, you see how it's barely green and it's just almost, it's really weak. When the field is weak or gone, people get violent, all right? Russian astronauts went up. They didn't generate a 7.83 in the capsule, and the two astronauts lost their minds and killed each other, okay? It causes them to go mad and violent and kill, all right? So when your field is weak, people get irritable, confrontational, violent. Okay, when the field is nice and green like this, we're all calm and mellow. We get activity like this. This disrupts people. All right, intense, nothing. An intense pulse, nothing. Back to normal. Intense, just this bam, 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 bam. Roller coaster ride, up, down, up, down, up, down. So this kind of activity right here can wreak havoc on your body, your emotions, your well-being without you even knowing it. All right. That's why we do a lot of our spiritual work and work on salvaging our day, because some of this activity has a tendency to be part of the irritation factor in your day. Okay. And it's also an indication of pressure down below. We had a pressure build up, a small one, it's off, and now we're back to normal activity. All right, so that's good. Now let's get on over here to the null school. And you can see I got it set up here already on our upper jet stream. We got this pretty zonal flow coming off, going across right now, which is good. That's your upper jet. We're getting more Well, it's looking more stable. It's not so, it has good continuity too, the deeper we get into summer. It's spring and fall, those transition seasons where this gets all wonky. All right, let's go a little lower to your lower jet. You see the correlations there? We still have this flow coming off the Pacific, but we have a heat plume coming off the ocean floor with this fixed rotation right here that hasn't moved. Okay, so with this, it causes stuff to come up to the coast and down. Here, I'm going to show you the weather underneath this now. You can see the three storms lining up here. Okay, now we go down to our storm level. Here's our three storms lining up on this big conveyor belt here, okay? And then look, 1, 2, 3. Look what's going on over here. There's another one starting to form right here. See this rotation up above here? This will come together probably. This with this whole thing will probably start rotating and hop in line with these and ride this big conveyor belt all the way across the Pacific, around, down. All right. Now, this conveyor belt is we'll get in, is an effect due to the water temperatures. All right. We'll get into that in a sec here. So there's 3 storms all in a row riding the conveyor belt, already type effect that I was going to say we might be seeing over here in hurricane season as well. All right. But for now, there's your weather. I want to take you down to chemicals, to the SO. Oh, actually, you know what? Particulates. Let's go look at our sandstorms. Forgot to do that last night. Wow, look at that. That is a huge, huge plume of sand coming off of Africa. And look at following the wind patterns. You can see where it's going to go and get dispersed. This might actually calm some of the hurricane activity and keep the thunderheads from, reaching, really high altitudes and stuff. So, sandstorms have a tendency of disrupting hurricanes, so we could possibly see this, help disrupt our hurricane season a little bit. Meantime, you can see it's just a massive plume coming across the Atlantic, going to hit, these barrier islands in South America. The flow, as you can see, takes it right through the Caribbean up into the Gulf. Do you see what is still hanging out here? Still there. We got an issue, you guys. That thing parks itself like that. It draws moisture in. It just completes the circuit. It's like guiding the moisture right up into the country. It's not a good spot for it. I wish it was, somewhere else, like here, taking it away and diving down. But for meantime, this vortex seems to be still kind of parked there. All right, let's go over here. You can see it's getting ugly over here. Let me take the wind off a little bit here now. Saudi Arabia having a sandstorm. We got, look at this arm reaching right across the Mediterranean up into Eastern Europe region, all covered in sand. There's a excuse me. I think I got one more. This screen's so bright, my eyes are so sensitive that looking at this makes me sneeze. Pretty crazy. You guys ever look at the sun? Sometimes it makes you sneeze because your eyes are sensitive. Yeah, mine are so sensitive. Looking at this screen makes me sneeze. All right, so crazy sandstorm activity. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch it over to a different color. It's just a different size micron particle. Okay, pretty similar. It just helps paint it a little more. Look at Saudi Arabia, Yemen, and Oman. Okay, so a lot of debris in the air. Okay, when I clicked on debris, they showed us plasma. Here's debris. This is Sand is made of silica. Silica can hold an electric charge. It gets a static electric charge. It becomes lighter than air or lighter than normal, let's just say. And with our increased wind speeds we're seeing because of solar activity, it just swoops this lighter than usual sand up into the air. We've had the sandstorms all through the winter time. We never see sandstorms in the winter. We see them maybe a week or two in the summertime. This was going since November. All right. Something seriously wrong with the planet. Can you tell? All right. Now we're going to get over to our SO2. Are we on the right date? 'Cause the other day it was. Okay, good. I will take that. Okay, here we go. Dropping in. So, we have a country divided, don't we? Over this side, it's all bleeding out, pretty dark purple up in that region, right up in there. You see that? Little flooding over here has blocked up some of the spots, little patchy work over on that side, but there you go. You can just see it. Country divided. Every time. And you can kind of pick out your region, your spot, real quick while I kind of got it sitting there. This whole region just been spewing SO2 for a long time now. All right. On this side, we got hit and miss spots. Some around Salt Lake City, but where I'm kind of looking at is this area where our volcanoes are. Okay. Where Mount St. Helens, Rainier, Mount Hood. Look at Mount Hood just spewing. I bet that's. Okay. So pressure down below pushing upward wants to come out through the perforations in the crust. A lot of perforations over on this side of the country, and it's just spewing all this SO2. Some darker regions up here. We might even just kind of do this real quick. Put the fires on, because this SO2, when it comes out of the ground, is super, super hot, right? Have you ever seen methane emissions coming out from like a swamp and it's flames coming out of the water because the gas is so hot it's already ignited and on fire as it comes up out of the ground for methane? SO2, very similar. It's not combustible like methane, but very similar. It comes out of the ground at such a high temperature that it causes spontaneous combustion in the vegetation in this, surrounding area. And now it's starting fires from underground. Okay. Yeah, everybody's thinking all these fires are directed energy weapon, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, no, it's not. All right. And they're fine with you thinking that. They want you to think they got a weapon so badass that they can start fires and blah, 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 blah. And they can use that to keep you in fear, right? But this is not happening that way. This is fires starting from underground. And they can't tell you this stuff on the news because they don't have any control of it. Okay. And look up here. There's a couple more fires right at these emission sites. Okay. Not every single site has a fire, and not every single fire is a site. Okay. But you can see there is a correlation. If you can't see the correlation, okay, so we're just kind of taking a little cruise around the world. Let me turn the fires off for right now. And then let's go get their daytime. All right, so here we are over at China. Very dark. Ooh, excuse me. Very dark purple, okay? Spreading around, too. It's not like we're just a couple of dark spots. These are healthy areas of purple. They're spreading and growing in size. China has some serious issues. Okay, that whole country's gonna turn into one big sinkhole, probably. We'll see. They better get on board like yesterday. Can you tell what's happening here? Can you see the countries that don't believe in Christ being punished? Regions that resist, we'll just say. Got some other. How about the trek to Mecca? Thousands of people, or over 1,000 people, died of heat stroke trekking to Mecca to worship a black rock in a box. Our Savior provides more than that. Okay, He doesn't make you walk around in the heat in a circle around a box. I'm retarded. Anywho, here we are over at Java. You can see it's just this one little spot right here, probably Semeru or Merapi here, doing most of the venting right here. We also have Krakatau is right here in this Sunda Strait, this little strait in between Sumatra and Java. So we do see a lot of SO2 coming out of this region. This is our region, kind of our relief valve a little bit, So our purple island of Java is just mainly the spot up here. Sumatra kind of filling in. It used to have, a lot of white, but there's a few last little white patches, and otherwise it's filling in, with purple becoming, more porous, more of a relief valve. Another spot is Taiwan here, okay? Not only is it a fulcrum point, plate boundary fulcrum point, relief valve for pressure, but it also has SO2 emissions as well right there, okay? Moscow got hit with a hurricane yesterday. At the same time, China got spanked. And y'all need to wake up and get on board like yesterday. All right, a lot of SO2 emissions. These are all independent sites, okay? You can see some darker spots, bigger perforation, bigger hole, more emissions coming out of there. But all the way down the coastline here, howdy, Jimmy, we have all kinds of perforations, all kinds of spots. This area is always dark purple. It's doing a lot of venting of the pressure in that region, okay? So there's South America. Also, we've had some quake activity in the Caribbean here. Well, we have Jamaica here, had a 4.0, and now they've always had this little emission spot, a dark one. So it's its own little relief valve in this area, having quakes as well as out here in the Dominican Republic and Haiti as well. Now, do you see this? Not all of your islands, but most of your islands out there in this barrier chain right here are spewing SO2. They're going volcanic, aren't they? So we got these little islands that vent pressure in this region right here, okay? And it seems to be coming up through all of them. So they're not now, how am I going to put this? Not well seated. They're not well seated on the tectonic plate. They're still fresh. They're newer islands, that still have connections to down below. There we go. Okay, pretty obvious what's going on there, huh? And before, a couple years ago, there were 4 dots like this, running down California, and everybody freaked out. Oh my God, it's a big one. It got so much attention, everybody. Now look at the whole globe, and nobody even bats an eye. Sweep it under the rug, and let's move on. Nothing to see here. It's just your Earth bleeding out. And pretty soon, we're going to run out of gas and magma will be coming out of perforations if we get more pressure. You understand how that works, right? Okay, so there's our SO2. Help me, Lord. Let's just do this. Okay, there's our latest data. Let's start over here. Our yellow patch still kind of coming back here a little bit. We got a secondary yellow growing a little bit right here now. We did have this one big yellow bar that was out of control. And we have, whoa, all of this inside Alaska right here. We had a little spot over here that relieved this pressure and stopped this yellow bar that was growing in intensity. A little perforation in the crust formed here and relieved pressure. But look what's going on up. Look what's going on up here by the Kamchatka too. You know what I want to do now? What? Look at this. Is that a perforation in the crust? What's going on there? I'll give you guys a gold star on your report if you can tell me, is that a perforation in the crust or not? Very good. You are like a big old gold star family. Meanwhile, this is getting all this hot water on the coast of Alaska here. That was, hints of it, but now it's spreading outward, and now this whole area has come to life. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that right here and pull up the calendar. Okay, you can see it pretty well. Let's hold up. I want this. Okay, I want to go back. This seems new because I don't remember seeing that there last night. So let's go back to go back a day. Ooh, let's go back one more day. Oh, and one more day. So you could see this area. All right, we're gonna go forward a day at a time now. So right back to where we were. Watch it grow. Boom, it grows in intensity. We're gonna watch that area some more. Bam! Oh, did a new perforation open up right here? You think, you guys, right there? Now watch. Still. All right, so that was. Yeah, we just do it like that. My bad. So yeah, you can see it. Here, let's put it right there. I forgot we could do it this way. All right, that's our latest data right there. So we got a new area up here leaking lava that is like probably relieving pressure in this area. Hopefully, we'll see. And then the Kamchatka Peninsula, all around the edges here, starting to get hot right around there. We got 5 volcanoes here spewing lava or, blasting every day, relieving pressure. What's going on here? And here. We're at the top of the world, you guys. Look at this on the East Coast here. This is growing in size as well. Over here on the East Coast, out here, getting bigger, more intense. All right, so now what I'm going to do, everybody take a deep breath here, because when you understand what you're looking at, it can be a little disturbing. I'm going to put the wind patterns on now, okay? Everybody take a deep breath. Okay, good. We're at 850. I want back to this. And here we go. Ow. Okay, our heat signatures are causing airflow. Okay, they're directing the air currents now. The water is so hot that the air rising off of it is going up, hot air rising, cold air coming in to replace it. All right, so it's following the structure. The wind patterns are following the structure of the heat plumes. It's not a very identical match right now, but we have seen days where it matches it perfectly. Okay, what could happen over here on this side as the Atlantic continues to warm throughout the summer, we could see a conveyor belt going like this, with hurricanes coming off the coast hopping onto the conveyor belt. They would be evenly spaced so one doesn't choke off another, but you would see hurricane after hurricane after hurricane going up, and the flow before went up this way. Now this door that was blocking flow has opened, and now it's going into the Gulf. What opened this door and allowed the flow, instead of going up the East Coast, that allowed the flow to come in here, was this spinning vortex that's this heat signature here and there. And this was yesterday, okay? So it disappeared for about a day. Here, let's go. Let's do this. Can we? See, there's that vortex back. So, boom, boom, it disappears. Oh, okay. But we still have rotation down in here, and I bet we're going to see the return of that vortex there. Because I showed you the winds from today, this map is from yesterday or whatever. So, but let me just kind of do this, and you can see the flow patterns due to heat. So conveyor belt could form over here. This whole area could turn into one big hurricane. I pray that doesn't happen. Meantime, we got this hot spot. Do you see rotation because of heat? This plume right here in the center is causing rotation around it. Okay, so that plume is keeping this flow that goes up to the coast and then heads downward. Ow! So that's why we're seeing these. There's no storms that just go across the country. They come right up to this area and start to drop down a little bit, because we've had this clockwise flow here going because of the heat plume underneath. And this is just going to stay there until this heat, either diminishes. The more it increases, if this yellow bar goes into effect again, we'll see how there's cut throughs here and a cut through here. But if this was all yellow, it would be more of the conveyor belt stretched out effect. So we still have some little breakaways cutting through. But you can see that our weather patterns are going to be dictated by our heat anomalies on the ocean, in the ocean. Okay. We have all kinds of volcanic activity on land at the surface. Okay. Well, we have all kinds of volcanic activity on the surface, but is covered with water. Okay, the ocean floor is still the surface of the planet. There's just a bunch of water sitting on top of it. And as you can see, this is all kind of, let me take the wind off of there now. This whole field looks like it's kind of, can we have that up? This whole field looks like it's starting to regain strength and structure again. And we've got, new areas, new perforations popping off all over the place, even up here in the Arctic. Very, very interesting what's going on here. All right, let's get on over to our earthquake report. Get that out of there, please. And dropping on into our deep quake area region. Okay, let's see. We got a 4.4 at 228 and a 4.6 at 144. So no real deep quake today in our deep quake region. Why is everything all just wonky tonight? All right, back somewhere, please. That's good. Right there. All right, so our two mid-range fours here and here, not on the plate boundary. They're a little bit deeper. It just shows that energy, that was down deep, traveled up a little bit higher, and now, the pressure's reaching closer to the surface. Not quite there yet. So no surface quake activity on the plate boundary. We got all kinds of volcanic activity in this area relieving pressure. We got two emission sites coming out of this little island right here. And I will take you just real quickly. Okay, here's Fiji in our deep quake region. Here's our little island just off the beginning of the system. You can see that this island had two little emission sites. There's one here and one up here. So it's emitting SO2, that's pressure pushing the gas out. So it's relieving pressure in that area right here as we enter the system. So any like surface pressure, incoming, energy, this dilutes it, cuts it down a little bit, little relief valve right there, keeping this region pretty quiet and letting the volcano activity do the job. Meanwhile, here we have a mid-range 4 at the surface, relieving pressure in the area right there. On a plate boundary here, we have a 5. I don't do 4.9. At 81. So it's a tad bit deeper than a shallow quake, but it's not on the plate boundary. What do we got here? Is this a little island or something? Just off the plate boundary, a little deeper. Okay, note how quiet this whole region is here. We haven't seen much relief here at Taiwan. And Taiwan had the, oops. Ow. Taiwan here, we got this yellow down below here. Before it was all red and we had cold water inundation on the backside here. Well, that cold water inundation is kind of tapering off. This yellow region here is starting to grow in size. Get out of there. Our fulcrum point right about here, this area is still in red, but we haven't had a quake here in a while, so I wouldn't be surprised if we start to see yellow growing in this area until we have a quake. So when we, get a good quake in this region, you'll see this pressure kind of lessen, this color drop at least. It just translates to the pressure. Temperature, there's something going on here, pushing a lot of, lava to the surface here. Same here. Down here at Java, our main relief valve here, a lot of cold water inundation because of all the relief of pressure in this area. Okay, Sumatra, getting a little warm off the coast. Look at this growing out there now. It's like some kind of signature. Then we have the spot over Madagascar down down here. Just craziness. Just craziness. We got some of the coldest water in the world right now during winter. Boiling hot, having, pockets of heat make their own vortexes, right? See that one right there? That's its own little vortex. This one, all right. And these heat plumes cause cold and hot air, water, not air, to separate and boundary, create, little boundaries. Hot water wants to rise. The cold air rushes in to replace it, creates vortexes, and they hand off hot water to cold to hot to cold to hot to cold. Hot to cold, hot to cold, hot to cold. You're either hot or you're cold, or I'll spit you out. I don't like mediocre people that just You got to have some spark in you, don't you? Now look here. I also want you to know that cold water creates a vortex as well. Okay, it's water that's sinking. You got hot water rising, cold water sinking. So cold water creates its own little vortexes as well. See these two? All little, hot, or, perforations spewing lava on the ocean floor, creating hot spots. Down where it should be cold. Another one growing here. So every little spot of the planet's kind of getting its effect. Now look, no hot spots along this coast right here. A little warm water, but not anything because of all the pressure being relieved along the coast there, huh? Seeing how this works? Good, good. How it works. Rarely have we seen a person fail who was thoroughly done the process. All right, so there's your hot spots. Back to your quakes. We had this one up here at Japan, a 5.0 again, down at 55. Nothing around the Kamchatka. We got all kinds of volcanoes. We'll get into America in a second. Let me just finish up this region. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Very quiet in this region, okay? We haven't had activity in this region in a minute, so it wouldn't surprise me we see incoming pressure, one of these areas pop off. They're kind of locked up, it seems, right now, but meanwhile, we got a 4.2 over here in Georgia. All right, that's a little odd quake. You see our mountain range right here. All kinds of pressure when these mountains push up. So there's weak structure fault lines that run all through mountain ranges and stuff, right? So you can see a little weak spot right there. 4.2 at the surface. That's a place we'll watch for, like when we have a new wave of energy and we're trying to predict what area might get hit. New weak spots, new paths of least resistance, right there would be one of them. Okay, now let's get into our big quake of the day. We had a 6.0 down at 87, just south of Puerto Rico, or Haiti and Dominican Republic, down here on this part of the plate boundary. We don't rarely see a lot of quakes down here, but you can see we have quite the plate boundary running right through this weak area right here. This is all water inundated sand. See this? You go to the beach and you're standing on the beach, you dig down 5 feet, there's water underneath you. Okay, all this area has water underneath it. You can see how close it is to the surface right here. All right, so you got weakness, weak zone right off the coast here. That's your quake. 6.0. So we've had a, increase in pressure relates to increase in magnitude. There it is right there. 6.0. And at a new spot too. Okay. Boy, it's hard to call this one a diverse quake because it's on a plate boundary where we would expect to see, activity. But When was the last time we saw a quake in this region? Been quite a while, hadn't it? So it's kind of one of your diverse quakes in a way. And we're just going to have square, wavy lines all night long. What is it? Is something at a weird angle or what? Are we zoomed in too much or what? Why is that doing that? All right. Curb Creeper. Yeah, terribly hard decisions to make, but at some point we have to draw our lines in the sand. Do you agree? Yes, I agree. I am one to show you where I stand. Okay, give you fair warning where I stand, and then I draw a line in the sand. And if you think you're dumb enough to come cross it, well, we have this saying. We're gonna find out. Meanwhile, you see our activity up here has reduced. We're still seeing that's a decent 3.9, but there's not as many quakes. There's usually 5 or 6 little quakes in this region. 2.9. But we did see 3.9 right here. And what do we do with nines at this place? So a little increase in magnitude and another one right in that region. So we got a new area that's venting energy, that's venting pressure. Also down here, South Sandwich Islands, by though, it's down at 117 though. Real quick here, 5.1, fulcrum point, 4.3. There's another little one under there, 4.5. All right. America looking kind of quiet here. Let me get all magnitudes, please. Bingo. Take this out. Take this out. And let's dive on in. So, not a lot of pressure coming over this anymore, okay? We have a different scenario now. Pressure comes up through here, it gets relieved here. It doesn't like transfer over anymore. We got pressure coming up from down below that creates quakes in this area now. Remember we saw the hot plume in this region? Well, we got pressure in the area, and these quakes are, volcanic islands right here. Boom, boom, boom. Let's touch that one. 3.9. There's your energy again. 3.2. Fulcrum point. Our biggest quake at the fulcrum is a 4. Ooh. Into 3.1. So we got, 3 to 4 energy pushing up into this region. We even got a quake a little further north up here, 2.6. Okay. Now coming down this side, nice and quiet. Juan de Fuca, nice and quiet. We're going to go into the Puget Sound here. We got just a little micro quaking going on through here. Now, pressure builds up down below. It rattles the volcanoes. Here's a quake here at Mount Rainier. A bunch of little quakes here at Mount St. Helens as well. Can you see those? Ow. 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 I gotta sit up. Oh, yeah, bad posture. Gotta sit up sometimes. All right, so you can see these little microquakes here, indication that pressure, when it builds, it wants to come out the volcano, right? But the volcano's plugged up, so it just moves around down there, rattling around, shaking it, causing a little microquaking. So we're seeing microquaking at volcanic sites, indication of pressure. As we come in off of the Juan de Fuca, straight down a little bit is our little new site right here. Our little spot of path of least resistance. It's got a little bit of activity, not much. Come on down to the geysers where most of the activity gets vented before it reaches the Bay Area. Off the coast on the other plate is a 1.9. Nothing in the Bay Area today. That's good. Just little 1s and 2s down the San Andreas. Out here at my gold mine, a little bit of activity. Here at Salt Lake City, seeing a 3.1. Okay, microquaking down in here, relieving pressure. We all know what's going on here in Texas and Oklahoma. I just want to look at the nothing along the East Coast or up through there. So that's good. All right, there's your earthquake report. Sound good? Yep, that's good. Now, I need to remove a couple of instruments here as we open up the volcano page. Probably shouldn't have taken that one off, but oh well. Lord, let the volcano page work tonight, please. 34 erupting, 27 in warning, and 25 in unrest. No job to fall back on. Praying God will open another door if this one closes. Father Yah, I'm sure is watching and listening. Brian Knight, getting screwed with at my job by bad people. Okay, that's your test. You are being tested. Spiritual warfare, baby. Pray, and then if this isn't, maybe that's a sign that this isn't the place for you. You know, go look around. There's probably better places out there just waiting for you. I'm a hard worker, and people don't appreciate hard work sometimes. So I'll go to the competition and make the previous employer sorry they lost me. You know what I'm saying? All right. Again, though, let's get back up to this 34 and what is it? 27 was 61. So 61. Oh, we got to get that. And we got to close out the ads. And we're getting there. 34 erupting and 27 in warning. Wow. Here's Luatobi. Oh, no, this isn't Luatobi, but this is a look into the crater. Okay. No signs of the glow or steam emissions at the spatter cone of Recahenus, I guess. So, Recahenus commenced on May 29th, appears to have stopped. Okay. Ebu, 20,000. Wow. Ebu had a 20,000 foot blast, huh? That's pretty high for Ebu. Luatobi, 9,000. Fuego, nothing. Nevada del Ruiz, nothing. Reventador, again here at Ecuador on the list of 15,000. Sabancaya, 20,000. Okay, and that's going into the 23rd. Let's go into today, which was now yesterday. Can we pass this? Thank you. Rick Hanus, we already read that. All right, Karaminski, no identifiable imagery. Ebu, 14,000. Luatobi, 8. Semaru, 15,000. Semaru maxing out 15,000. Marapi across the way, probably a good blast. Oh, there it is, 11,000. Ducono, 8,000. Fuego, sporadic emissions. Nevada del Ruiz still going. Reventador still going. Sabancaya, 18,000. Okay, so that's a lot of pressure to push those blasts that high. All right, we were having, one volcano eruption, at Hawaii was the only volcano 10 years ago. And if 10 years ago I told you we'd have 60 volcanoes going, you would have said, no way, you're out of your mind. Well, here we are at out of your mind reality. Okay? Reality. The planet is in big trouble. Can't you tell? The weather, I told you how all this ash emission creates particulates. Water adheres to it, and then it's all over. This economy makes it rough to find something better. Think y'all going to bed, but listening. All right, Curb Creeper, you know what? I'm going to send angels your way. We're going to send people into your life and send opportunity to you, Curb Creeper. So when opportunity arises, it will be that one. So don't Don't let it slip by. Don't overlook it. You'll notice it when it comes. It'll be the opportunity. You'll recognize it. I am sending angels your way, people your way to help you. My favorite thing to do. Okay, I think we covered everything here. So I love doing that. And I can do that. Okay? I know the spiritual realm well. That's why sometimes I have to stop and go say a prayer, because I know that's the very moment that prayer was needed, and exactly what needed to be said too, because it's precise. It's an art form. Knowing how and what to say and praying with sincerity. Whew. Meanwhile, let's get back to our report. While this is loading up here real quick, we got severe weather moving through there. I'll just leave it like that for a moment while it loads up. And we have got other players in the weather. Okay, I've shown you the spheroid activity, causing storms, steering storms, intensifying storms, decreasing storms. From what I've witnessed, I've shown you, I've recorded a few things and put it on the channel, but just by witnessing and watching closely, these spheroid objects move like chess pieces. They are tactical. They are intentional. They're something's guiding them. It seems like something's actually controlling them. Okay, so we have other players in our weather, as well as the sun. The sun, any kind of geomagnetic storm that we get hit with, well, the sun's gonna, enhance the weather and cause, enhancement. So here we go. We're talking right now, the current conditions, the nighttime of the 22nd, with severe weather moving through that region. As we go into the morning, we're still going to see severe weather, but more up in Canada. There's the noontime convection, just leaving Maine, but look out for this low. You see this curvature right here. This is a well-organized system right here. I can't see what the millibars are predicting there, but at convection, there could be activity in this still, okay? There's the nighttime. You see it kind of dissipating and more centrally located up by the center of the rotation. That'll be the morning of the 24th, noon, convection, nighttime. Yeah, the 24th looks like our best day. Going into the morning of the 25th, right up here again in Canada, a lot by the Great Lakes now. Noon, convection. There we go, convection. Ohio here. All kind of little pops of starting to form. Then we go nighttime, morning of the 26th. Noon, convection. These little isolated supercells right here can be dangerous. We saw some tornado activity tonight. Boy, am I glad I got a 3-minute break when I did, because I stepped away and looked down at what max velocity, just to pop in there real quick, saw the radar, and what was going on was off the hook. And I said a real important prayer right there, and I think a couple of cities dodged some bullets today, because 2 tornadoes at a time, just heading right for a certain big area, and he was showing the neighborhoods that it was about to go hit, and I thought, oh dear God, have mercy on them, please. And the tornadoes lifted. Both of them lifted, went over this town, and dropped right back down again. I was just like, wow, there's your answer prayer. Whew. Total tangent. Back to business. Kansas, Nebraska, nighttime of the 26th. Watch out in this little region, these little isolated supercells, okay? Morning of the 27th, noon. See this low. Convection up here, look at this. Watch out for nighttime, here it comes. Bingo, nighttime up here, North Dakota, Canadian border, up here in Canada. You guys, watch out. You guys are starting to get we're starting to get a shift in our intense or our severe weather. Okay, because we're getting so much hot air coming in from the Gulf and moist air that when it severe weather doesn't happen until it collides with cold air. Well, our colder air is going to be up more in the northern reaches up in Canada and stuff. So moist air it finally collide up here. So our quote like tornado alley type effect, our severe weather alley will shift north because it'll be searching for cold air. Okay. Nighttime at 27th, morning of the 28th. All right. Stop right there. What's going on? Oh, good. So, nighttime. Now, morning, you see this blossom in the morning. This is going to be while everybody's asleep. Okay, here's the 11 p.m. Pacific. That's 12:01. So here we go. 5 a.m., 6, 7 a.m. in this region right here. We're looking for a good centralized region of severe weather breakaways up here at the. You see, we have two comma shapes right here. There's this storm, and then there's this storm right here. And you can see right here, we're getting severe weather in the morning hours. We are seeing a different type of convection. This is air mass collision convection. This isn't being propagated by the sun because we're in the morning time. We just came out of nighttime, and now cold air in the morning, moist air is hitting that cold air in the morning. We're going to have a rash of morning time tornadoes this summer because of this new effect. This is convection without the sun. This is air mass collision, hot moist air colliding with cold dry air, causing wreaking havoc. That is the morning of the 28th. Everybody take note. Hopefully this changes as we go into the noontime. Convection, it dissipates by convection. Nighttime, little fire ups back here, also down in Mexico there. Now watch as we go into the morning time again. We got cold air again colliding with moist air. That's the morning of the 29th. Noon, convection. Back down in here, you see this comma-shaped storm forming. You see this kind of linear, quasi-linear effect going. That's at convection. Then we go nighttime. See this right here? All the way down. It's like one big, long train. All right, so what do you think is going to happen? Nighttime, we're going to go into the morning. We get cold air. Because the way that was progressing, boom, boom, and then morning time cold air, but it dissipates. So that's good. I pray that that's what happens. I would love it if that's what happens. There's noon, the 30th, convection, nighttime, morning of the 1st, noon, convection, nighttime. Nighttime up in here, you guys. Morning of the 2nd, noon, convection, nighttime. Morning of the 3rd, noon, convection, nighttime. All right, here we go. 4th of July, the morning of the 4th, noon, little bit in the middle, convection, nighttime. Ooh, looks like everybody's going to have a nice night on the 4th. No severe weather. We're going to have a nice clear day for most of the country. There's the morning right there. All this is moved offshore. Central little patch right there. Going to have a little fire up around noon, but then it dissipates by convection in nighttime. Now, morning of the 6th. Here we go. Severe weather in the morning. Morning of the 5th. My bad. Noon, convection, nighttime. Morning of the 6th. Noon, convection, nighttime. Morning of the 7th. Noon, convection, nighttime, morning of the 8th, noon, convection, nighttime. All right, so the next couple rounds, this as it moves out, and then our next serious weather event will be that. And then this, okay, on the morning of the 28th. So just a couple of little events that this program's predicting. Now we have all kinds of different players in the game. All right. Not just the spheroid action, but we also have the spiritual realm. Okay, that's what's really in control of the weather. That's what's in control of everything. Everything in the physical world is controlled by the spiritual realm. So, there's your forecast. Let me go ahead and just let that click away as I get rid of some of these instruments here. And we'll get on with our spiritual report here. You know what? It takes 18 gallons of water to make up one of the emergency food buckets. Lentils $1.25 is a good source of protein. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna do a little something different tonight. Maybe kind of interact with my chat a little bit tonight instead. So, how about a little Q&A? You guys got questions, or you want to express your views, or say anything, or I don't bite. Here is our big black spheroid object being draped with plasma. Okay, this is the effect that I'm talking about. You have a big black spheroid so dense that light cannot reflect off of it. It can't reflect light. It absorbs light. Right? So when it gets next to a light source, it absorbs a bunch of that light in the form of plasma, right? Plasma draping over it. So there's your big bad boy right there. All right, so let's just take a peek at some of this. And like, you guys got a favorite thing that you want to see, or you want me to explain the wolf? Do you want to know more about Godzilla? Let's go see that image of Godzilla. Where was that? Help me with that one, Lord. That was albums. It was in this day. Also, this activity was going on in the other part of the sky. This little round face. Some of these characters that we were seeing, almost kind of cartoonish type characters, I recognized a couple from my son's Pokemon. He was showing some of his old Pokemon cards, from when he was a kid, and I looked and I'm like, wait a second. I've seen that character before. What's this guy's name? And he shows me the card, and I'm like, huh, okay. So, as we progressed from the, Jesus turning into the lion face, I take these pictures. It's off at a different part of the sky. I come back, and now this is turned into this little goblin. Let me get a good one right here. Right here. That's a good one. All right. There's this little goblin right here. Here's his eye. His other eye would be right here, but he's covering it with his hand. So here's his chubby little cheeks and his chin, his mouth, his ear coming out. And he's got one hand over one eye, right? Then, hopefully, you can see some kind of troll type character right here. And when this is kind of too close for you, so when I back out like this, now you can see it better. See how backing away from something makes it clearer? A lot of this is too close and in your face. So it's in a different dimension is what's going on. It's in a different dimension. It's in a dimension that you can't see unless you were to like step out of your body and I'll walk a quarter mile behind you and then look up at the sky. Then you might see. But this is all in a different dimension that's outside your perspective. So these images have all been compressed. See how it's in this, well, this is what, 1/6 of the screen? So it's 1/6 the size that it usually is. So this image is compressed. Now, as we get closer over here, it starts to change. The troll face starts to disappear. The one eye becomes the eye of a Godzilla or a dragon type creature. The profile starting to form here. And right there. Well, no, too close in your face. But you can see this lizard, dragon, Godzilla type nose, head starting to form here. That's a good, well, so when we start to see, weird characters and Godzilla showing up, it doesn't surprise me, okay? I know that in the spiritual realm, your imagination comes to life, okay? So what you think of or what you imagine in the physical manifests in the spiritual also. So you guys are dreaming up your own monsters, and then they're manifesting in physical form. Yeah. So could you imagine seeing King Kong and Godzilla running around fighting the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man? With gremlins and all kinds of other characters from movies running around. It's going to be wild. It'll be wild. You guys got wild imaginations. So, but here you can see some kind of like a dragon or a Godzilla type head. Do you guys remember they did like I think it was the 2000 Godzilla with the bigger, longer nose, as opposed to the short, stubby one. This one kind of looks like it has a longer nose. I'll let you be the judge of this too, okay? But this is all evolved out of this picture right here. This is where we started. That was the first one I took right there. The second, the third. The light keeps changing, so it goes from black and white to kind of blue and white. My camera is this is an old Samsung S4. I mean, we're at what? S20 or something now, who knows? So this is an older phone, but it still was able to do a pretty good job at capturing this. And then you can see as the image is more compressed, the clearer it gets. All right, so it started off doing this, all right? These were photos like this that I just turned sideways. I turned them sideways so you wouldn't have to tilt your head. It'd be a little easier to see, like this one right here. This one here is a little easier to see with the crown, the face, and the hair flowing back. On Easter, that should rattle your cage. It should make you jump for joy. Remember that story I was telling you about? The teacher leaves the class unattended to go do something, and it's actually a social experiment, and the teacher's looking through the window watching the class misbehave. Well, some of the good kids sit there and do what they're told. Meanwhile, the bad kids, cut loose and start creating mayhem, right? Well, the bad kids are dreading the moment the teacher comes back, while the good kids who are being picked on by the bully are just dying for the teacher to come back. Please, I can't wait. But then during the story, the teacher says, while I'm gone, open up your book to chapter 4 and read chapter 4. We'll do a quiz on it tomorrow. So the good kids that opened up their book to chapter 4, there was a note hiding in the book that said, "Good job, you're doing what you're supposed to. This is a social experiment." I'm standing at the door looking through the classroom door, through the vertical window. And the kids who read the note looked, saw the teacher smiling, looking through the window. Meanwhile, the rest of the class is going ape shit, right? They're pulling every kind of stuff they can because there's no one around to police them or, to discipline them, right? Meanwhile, the kids that knew that the teacher was doing an experiment, they see the teacher looking through the crack at the door, smiling at them. And those students are now watching the bad behavior of the other students going, oh, they are in so much trouble. Oh, if they only knew that the teacher is still there watching, never left. It was just an experiment to get you to think that you didn't have to behave, right? And then we find out people's true nature, don't we? We find out your true nature, not what, how you behave with the authority figure of breathing down your neck, how your real behavior is, right? It's a good measure of a person, But like you guys, you kind of did what you were told. You opened up your book. You found out that it was, that you're being watched, that the teacher is doing an experiment. He's still around watching through the slot in the door. There's the teacher right there smiling at the good students. You guys should be relieved. Should be relieved. Okay? You should be happy. You should be joyful. This is the real deal. That's why this stuff looks weird. Each one of these pictures is a miracle. Did you know that? And there's only one person that can show you a true, real miracle. There's only one person that can show you a true, real miracle. There's only one person that can do that. It's the person who has this activity over his head everywhere he goes. That guy. All right. So you're getting to see a little bit how that progressed. And then towards the end here, it almost looks like a Godzilla type, dragon type creature right here with the nose. You can see the mouth slit. This looks like the Mesosaurus that we saw kind of on the, underwater, and kind of almost looks like the Godzilla type creature that we just witnessed as well. All right. Now, thermal activity down below. There are giant creatures down below. There are oceans below the oceans. Okay. There are different levels in our crust. Even though our crust, proportionally compared to the size of the Earth, is really thin, but compared to the size of a man, our crust is pretty thick. We can go down and, pretty far down and do all kinds of stuff down there, right? You will finally penetrate and reach a new layer where the magma is, right? It all depends on how thick the crust is at your location, but we are seeing that pressure and that heat come up to the surface. All right, so guess what? It's an experiment. The teacher's pulling an experiment, okay? And, luckily for you, you guys found it. Found me. Actually, I found you. So we got all kinds of stuff here. Give me just a second there. We could probably find a little bit better image than that. Maybe we'll kind of leave it like this. You guys like it like that, where you can see some of the different ones? Because these are all just individual pictures that I took. Maybe we'll do the flip book. This one's interesting too. The wolf turning into that Satan type thing, all right? See the wolf huffing and puffing and blowing out clouds, right? Remember the old, I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down or blow your house in, right? Where do you think the wind is coming from? Increase in your wind speed, increase in your weather, the spheroid activity, all coming from the spiritual realm, okay? This real stuff. This is going on in your clouds if you guys would look up. Because you're supposed, this time of year or this time of the season that we're in, everybody's supposed to be looking up. Why? Why are they supposed to be looking up? Because there's this kind of activity in your clouds. And when you see this happen in for real, happening to you, and you witness this, you will be intrigued. You will be shocked. It will change the way you look at life, change the way you think, and you will be forever looking up at the sky, looking for the next event. You will be so enthralled and captured and caught up in the activity in your clouds. If you just look up, you would see it, and you would get caught up with the activity in your clouds. When this was going on right here, a cop comes up to me. And we were at a skate park. I was with my kids, and I turn around. I see this going on in the sky. I'm like, holy shit. So I grab my phone. I start squeezing off some pictures. And I guess a concerned Karen thought I was a child predator or whatever and called the cops. So I'm sitting here squeezing off pictures of the clouds. I get a tap on my shoulder, and it's a cop. And he's like, what are you doing? Oh, no, at first he says, we got reports that somebody taking pictures. What are you doing? I said, well, I'm taking pictures. Well, what are you taking pictures of? I said, I'm taking pictures of the clouds. Oh, yeah? Well, why? Why, officer? Why? If I told you why, officer, you wouldn't believe me. No. Wasn't this face, but I think it was this one. But it was this one right here. And this face, he's like, well, what's up there? He turns to look up at the sky, and this face right here growled at him. You remember I showed you the face that spits lightning and growls? He looked up. This face looking down at him growled at this cop, and I thought he was going to draw his gun and start shooting at the sky. Right there in the skate park in front of kids. I thought he was going to see this, and when it growled at him, I thought, oh, shit, he's going to start shooting. But he didn't even notice. It was like he's just totally oblivious. He goes and says, oh, that looks like there's a storm coming. Yeah, there's a storm coming. Yeah, there's a storm coming, huh? Spiritual realm is in charge of the weather. Man has his way of doing weather manipulation as well. Cloud seeding, radar blasts, all kinds of stuff. You can see there's weather warfare going on our radar sites, right? We got all the spheroid activity and crazy weather. So all kinds of activity going on here. Here's the Grinch. What other ones can we do that one? Why is that not picking up very well? Did they like screw with my gift or something? Looks like they took a couple frames out of it. Doesn't it? Because it's not showing the lion face very long. Yeah, they did. They went in and manipulated my GIF. Duly noted. You guys, play games with me. Really, go play games with me. I duly note everything. What do you think I'm here for? Take notes on everything. I can tell that there are frames missing from that GIF. It's not too hard. Anyways, there's this image right here, okay? That's an important one to see. And as we back out, whoops, let me go back out a little bit. You can see that when it's smaller, it's a lot easier to see. But we'll kind of go with that one right there, okay? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's restart your phone right when you're going live. There were so many hours, so many moments during the course of this day they could have done the reboot on my phone, but they did not do it then. They chose to do it right when I go live. So let me try to back out of this. I'm trying to get to this, right? Not the video there. There we go. Bingo. I pause it, please. Must we play all kinds of games? Please bring up your little X here so we can get rid of that. I want the theater mode. 10 different buttons to get to the one little mode. Okay. Whew. There we go. My face out by the moon. Kind of crazy how it got there. This weird spiritual thing I've been through. And let's get the video too. I want you guys to hear the video real quick. Hear this guy's testimony. Voice patterns, people's inflections. There's so much testimony going on with this man.
Quality camera to catch this thing in the sky. It is February
29th, Leap Day. The one day that happens every 4 years. The most exclusive day, right? It's an exclusive day, Leap Day is, isn't it? Of all days that would be exclusive, other than like holidays, Leap Day, because it only comes around once every 4 years. This event took place on Leap Day at the time of night when I'm reading to you guys. So let's just play this.
29th, 28th, 29th, I have got me a better quality camera to catch this thing in the sky. And holy moly, I am scared. I'm scared, but I'm not going to trip.
Guy went and bought a high quality camera because he's already been seeing this and he wants to get a better shot of it. So this gentleman went and forked out some dough for a high quality camera. When you hear this zooming in, this manual zoom, autofocus or auto zoom here, he's going way in. He's going out to the moon. He's not taking video of a cloud that's next to the moon. He's zooming way out by the moon. So just, sorry, got to do that.
29th, I have got me a better quality camera to catch this thing in the sky. And holy moly, I am scared. I'm scared, but I'm not going to trip because I've been catching this thing for a while now.
For a while now.
Ominous. There he is. There he is. There he is. There he is. It's a huge face.
What is that?
Looking right down on us. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit brighter. There he is. There's the moon. Oh, I lost it. There it is.
Okay.
Let's see if I can get a better picture.
All right, good. Yeah, I'm going to start reading before you fall asleep. Let's do that right now. There's my face. All right, cool. Let's start reading. I got some good stuff for you, so let's just get going. Everybody get comfortable. Get in your spot. Take a few deep breaths. I need to do also before I kind of do this. Ow. Okay, did I start here for this stack? No, we end with that stack. Okay, let me just take a quick sip here and we'll get to it. Oh. Real quick. Today, somebody was thinking about me. They were like, oh, I wonder what Brian's doing right now. That happens every once in a while. I've heard that a couple of times. I wonder what Brian's doing right now. So one of you guys today was thinking, I wonder what Brian's doing right now. At that moment, I was trying to eat. I have problems, issues eating because, well, when you're in a lot of pain, it kicks out a lot of adrenaline, right? And I get these adrenaline hits over and over and over and over and over and over again. And if any of you have ever had like an adrenaline rush, once it goes away, it makes you kind of sick to your stomach, right? So it's hard for me to eat. It takes a little while. And when you asked that, I was actually finally starting to eat. So thank you for that's what I was doing when you asked. You guys are still working on your stuff. That's good. That's good. You practice the ranting one where instead of ranting and complaining, you started off with Jesus, please help me. Then you lay into it, right? And that passion comes out now. It's not just this dull, God help me, please, monotone stuff. You guys are really praying now with passion. I feel you. Okay. So, looking at that, understanding who I am, where you are in my presence right now. Did you know that? That's a that's another miracle. You're in my presence. So, come to me and rest in my presence. I am constantly thinking about you. And some of you were thinking about me. All right. I am constantly thinking about you, and I want you to become increasingly mindful of me. Awareness of my presence can give you rest even when you're busy. Okay? So, awareness of my presence gives you rest when you're busy. So when you're busy and you need some rest and you can't, think of me. Know that I'm here now. Awareness that I am real, that I am here. You are in the end times. You are special. You are blessed. You have found. You seek and you will find me, okay? So, as I'm constantly thinking about you, I want you to become more increasingly mindful of me. That awareness of my presence gives you rest when you're busy, and an inner peacefulness flows out of knowing that I am with you always. So now your faith has been taken to knowing. So, knowing I am with you produces an inner peacefulness that flows out of you. It flows out of you knowing that I am with you. So, an inner peacefulness flows out of knowing I am with you, doesn't it? That's why you're here at this part of the show, because that peace is actually real. Awareness of my presence gives you rest. Knowing I am always with you, peacefulness flows. This knowledge of me permeates your heart, mind, and spirit, and it can fill you with deep joy and hope. Many of my followers are so confused and so focused on the problems they see and the predictions that they hear that they lose their joy. Everybody out there running around predicting stuff, aren't they? Huh? They're running around predicting stuff. And here I already know. You don't see me running around predicting stuff. Not much. I'll work on earthquakes, stuff like that. But I really don't try to predict the time or the hour. Everybody is always concerned about that. So a lot of people are focused on the problems they see and the predictions that they hear from other people, from a lot of these bullshit scientists. Some of these guys are really starting to If they only knew how much pain I had to go through, then they'd understand. All right. This knowledge of me permeates your heart, your mind, and your spirit, and now you have joy and peace and courage. Uh, so you keep seeing all this stuff. You're focused on problems and these predictions that all these people are flinging around. It becomes buried under multiple layers of fear and worry. So these people, many of my followers that are focused on their problems, they become buried under multiple layers of worry, and then a layer of fear with some more worry on top of that, buried with some more fear. So you guys, not you guys, but as people, as humans, we have a tendency to stack fear on top of worry, on top of fear. It becomes buried under multiple layers of worry and fear. Huh? Hasn't. When you realize that this has happened in your life, that you have these multiple layers of worry and fear, when you realize that, bring all of your concerns, not just some of them. You need to bring all of your concerns to me. Talk with me about each one, seeking my help and guidance. Ask me to remove the anxious layers that have buried your joy. Okay, you guys, I know you're doing well, and some of you still are breaking through these anxious layers. Keep going. Okay? It doesn't work right away for some people. Some people it's a process. Others get it right away, but you got these anxious layers that they're just burying you. Ask me to remove those anxious layers that have buried your joy. And as you entrust your concerns into my care and keeping, your joy will begin to emerge again. Yeah, yeah. Some people in depression, all of a sudden, a death in the family, boy, that can really knock you down right away. That's a hard punch when somebody close to you dies. But then when you see that they're going, when you see this, or the Jesus flipping back and forth, you see the spiritual realm, you know that the spiritual realm is real. All of a sudden, the pain of losing somebody that's lost its sting a little bit. Not all of it, but a little bit. So we keep working on it until it's removed all of the anxious layers. So now you can have joy. But you have to entrust your concerns into my care. All right? Quit rehashing them over and over and over again in your mind. It just does no good. It just creates more stress. You need to release those concerns into my care. What did they do to my GIF? I am mad. It took out frames. You know what I'm going to do? I want more like this. That way you can see this one pretty good, and that one pretty good, and this one. You don't have to jump around. That's good right there. All right. Now back to where it was. So it's really based on your trust. The more you trust your concerns into my care and keeping, the more your joy will begin to emerge again. So once you find that key, nurture this gladness, this happiness, this joy that you found now. Nurture that joy, that gladness by speaking or singing praises to me. Okay. I told you about the code in the music. You can belt out your favorite song and it's singing to me. Did you know that? Did you know that the code in the music, when you're pick out one of your songs that has the code in it, and as you're singing that song, you're praising me. You're praising me, the King of Glory, who loves you eternally. Loves you eternally. Doesn't that make you feel a little bit better? I love you eternally. Okay? You're stuck with me. I love you. You're all good. It's the elite, the criminals, the evil that have to be concerned, not you. Okay? So, your joy should begin to emerge again. Nurture this joy by speaking and singing praises. You guys okay? Somebody pass out or something? What happened there? All right, we're back. All right. Sorry, teacher had to step out the door real quick. They're peeking through the window, though. See me peeking through the window right there? That should make you guys smile. And then I want you guys to also know this. Don't worry about your inadequacy. Instead, accept and embrace it. It's the perfect link to my limitless sufficiency. So when your resources seem lacking, your natural inclination is to worry. The best way to resist this temptation is to openly acknowledge your insufficiencies and then thank me for them. When you thank me for your insufficiencies, that frees you from trying to be what you are not, which is your own savior and provider. Now, because you are weak and sinful, you need a savior who is strong and perfect, a provider who can meet all your needs. You gain access to my boundless resources by being both still and active. Spending time alone with me, waiting in my presence, enhances your connection with me. We're making a relationship, huh? You could probably walk up to me and you wouldn't be afraid to address me because you know my voice, you know my character. Other people finding out who I am would be in sheer terror to come up and address me and afraid that I might scrutinize every little detail when all I want to do is just give you a hug. Right? So don't worry about your inadequacies, accept them as and embrace them. They're the perfect match for my limitless resources. You understand how that works? I hope you guys do. Because when you do, you gain access to my boundless resources by being both still and active. Still in my presence, peaceful, still at peace, right? Where are you guys still here? Yeah, okay, good. As opposed to active. Active means active in the word. Sharing this vital information right here with the world. I'm just one man with one YouTube channel. You guys need to help me spread this information. The fact that I'm here. It's going to make you sound crazy. I know why you guys don't do it. I know why you guys don't refer me to other people because they would go, oh, he thinks he's that, and they would reflect on you, huh? Yeah, I know. Dealt with it my whole life. I know all too well. But that's okay. You will grow stronger in your courage, in your peace, okay, and you'll be able to finally go, hey, there's this one channel, this guy, maybe you should go check it out. All right, you don't have to tell them anything about it, let me do the explaining, but you can steer them in my direction. And it's not for sub counts and likes. I'm not a big old egotistical YouTube nut job. It's for them. Don't you get it? Everybody else is for sub, count, and like. No, you need to share this for it blesses you when you do. You understand that? Yeah. Okay, back to reading. Sorry, some people are trying to rest. I am a provider who can meet all your needs. Spending time alone with me, waiting in my presence, enhances your connection with me. It enhances your relationship with me. And I work for those who wait for me. I work for those who wait for me, doing for you what you cannot do for yourself. Okay, so there's stuff in the spiritual realm that you can't do. You just can't. I can. All right. Same with the the story of the soldier last night. I operate in a theater you just can't operate in. And you just can't. I'm the only one that can operate in that theater. And I work for those who wait for me, doing for them what they cannot do for themselves in the in the theater where they can't, okay? But there are many things you can do. So when you go about your activities relying on the strength that I supply, okay, you guys are running around doing all this stuff. Where'd you get the strength to do it? You think you had that strength already, right, yourself, but it was me who supplied that strength. So when you go about your activities relying on the strength that I supply, I am glorified and you are blessed. So you want to be blessed? Go about your activities relying on the strength that I supply. Just one day's worth of strength. I only give you one day's worth of strength. Quit trying to get a week's worth of strength to use in one day. What are you going to do with the other 6 days? Yeah, you need proportional daily doses of strength. So when you go about your activities relying on the strength that I supply, now all of a sudden you're relying on it. Me, I'm almost paralyzed. It's excruciatingly painful to do stuff, to move, go stuff. So going about my activities, I have to rely on the strength. I have to. I have no other choice. Every other step I take is so excruciating that if I don't rely on the strength that Jesus supplies, I couldn't do my activities. I just couldn't. So, when this is important that you go about your activities now relying on the strength that I supply. When you realize you are relying on the strength that I supply, you are blessed and I am glorified, right? That's how you get blessed. It's pretty easy stuff, really it is. Give it a try. You got nothing to lose and everything to gain. All of these concepts are proven. So, the next time you're feeling inadequate, okay, tomorrow, when you have that time when you're feeling inadequate, turn to me immediately, and I lovingly meet you in the place of your neediness. When you're feeling like you're not measuring up, you're not making it to par, don't don't worry about those inadequacies. I just told you to not worry about your inadequacies. Accept them. Embrace them. Most people are so concerned about their looks, right? So here I am, halfway decent looking guy, kind of handsome. By the looks I get from some of the women, I must be kind of handsome or whatever. But imagine how inadequate when this big old strong handsome man falls down on the ground while walking. How embarrassing. I was just about to get her number till your leg gave out and you stumbled and looked like a decrepit old man instead of. So those inadequacies, I deal with them all the time, every day. Okay, and you can overcome them. All right. We're not being judged on your inadequacy. Accept it and embrace it. Once you do, it doesn't become an inadequacy anymore. It's lost its power. Huh. How likely would you recommend this PC to others if asked? You know how I feel. I have expressed it many times. And you have the nerve to still ask. Darken that a little bit. There we go. Cool. So I need to pull this light over here more. You guys ready for a little bit more reading here? We'll wrap it up here in a little bit. Well, maybe not. You guys are chilling for a while, huh? So I'll just keep going. So, your inadequacies, quit tripping. Quit tripping about your inadequacies and embrace them. Um, like I said, I stumble, fall, I limp. Watching me walk is it must be something, because everywhere I go, people just turn and look at me and stare at me with their mouth wide open. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay. It just hurts. It's so good. Oh my God. So, and it's embarrassing. I'm trying to, do a transaction, a business interaction, and, you wince in pain, and all of a sudden a grunt comes out. People are like, what the hell was that? Something wrong with you? Yeah, there is. I get these twinges of pain, so it's embarrassing. It's an inadequacy, but I don't get embarrassed about it. I accept it. I embrace it. I don't worry about it. I know it's the perfect link to the sufficiency of Jesus. Okay. The next time you're feeling inadequate, turn to me immediately, and I lovingly meet you in the place of your neediness. Don't I? I do. I do. I just do. What's this? I know you sometimes feel as weak and helpless as a bent reed or a faintly burning flame. Accept your weakness and your brokenness. Let them open your heart to me. So your weakness and your brokenness are now opportunities to open your heart to me. You can be fully yourself with me. That's the best part. Quit being nervous around me and feeling like you have to say things this way, or you can't say that, or you got to be this way, you can't be that. All these technicalities. You can be fully yourself with me because I understand you perfectly. I'm like your best friend. When you confide in somebody, you got that one thing, you go to your best friend, or you go to somebody that can relate, right? You are looking for somebody who can relate to what you're going through. You can be fully yourself with me. You need to be fully yourself with me. Quit acting, quit playing. It's for your own mental health. Quit acting and playing. Quit acting and playing tough guy. Just go walk the walk. Tough guys just do tough things. They don't have to act and, be all vibrato. You just go out there and take care of business. I want that in there too. How am I going to work that in with this? All right, so let me get back to where I was. It's important that you know that I know you feel weak and helpless. Accept your weakness and brokenness. Let it be that doorway to open your heart to me, where now you can be fully yourself with me because I understand you perfectly. I'm like your counselor. I'm like your therapist. You can tell me the nasty stuff, the wicked stuff, the good stuff as well. That's, we can share that, and I can make that better as well. Just accept your weakness and brokenness. and be fully yourself. Now you can. You can take down the guys and quit acting. Relax and be fully yourself with me. Like I said, I understand you perfectly. And then as you tell me your troubles, I refresh you and offer you peace that surpasses all comprehension. Don't I? I do for the people that practice, the people that are actually taking this seriously, believing me, and putting these things into practice. They are finding refreshment. They are finding a peace that surpasses all comprehension. And instead of trying to figure everything out, that's right where you guys go to. You want to figure everything out. I got Billy Carson, dude, figured everything out, knows it all. Fuck yeah. Totally wrong. Quit trying to figure everything out. Just lean on me in confident trust. Trust. Who can you trust anymore? Who can you trust? You can't trust anybody but Jesus. That is what this is all about, is finding out what the term trust is and who the only person you can trust is. So, as you lean on me in confident trust, you get that peace. Quit trying to figure everything out. That's what takes your peace away. The moment you try to figure everything out, you start losing your peace. Just relax. Lean on me. Lean into me. Lean into me as much as you need to. That's what I am here for. I am here for you. Unleash. Lean into me. Put your trust. Have confident trust. Okay? Trust me. I do refresh you. I do offer you this peace that surpasses all comprehension. So listen to what I'm telling you right now. Go off duty for a while, trusting that I am watching over you and working on your behalf. Trust that I am watching over you and working on your behalf. I'm telling you to go off duty for a while. Take a minute to be refreshed. Find the peace that surpasses the comprehension. Don't try to figure everything out. Come over here. Lean on me. I want to hug you. Lean into me. The more scared you are, lean into me. I will give you confident trust. I will give you confidence. Go off duty for a while, trusting that I am watching over you and working on your behalf. You got to get that through your head, because that's where you're getting your peace. The real peace that surpasses all comprehension. Knowing that Jesus is real, that he's here, that you found him, that you're best friends with him, doesn't that kind of relieve your anxiety? How special you just became by leaning into me and trusting me? Now, we're doing healing work right now, okay? This is how I do healing work inside you, is with this process. We are in the salvage business. We try to salvage our day, our moments, okay? So I'm doing this healing work, okay? And it's working. You guys are finding refreshment, you're finding peace, you're finding comfort. My healing work within you is most effective when you are resting in my watchful care. Like right Now, my watchful care. My healing work within you is most effective when you are resting in my watchful care at this show right here, right now, even in replay. I can do that even in replay. How can I do that? Unless I am who I say I am. Okay? That's every time I say, even in replay, you guys need to think about that too. How does he do it even in the future still? Because my healing work within you is most effective when you're resting in my presence. And though the mountains be shaken and the hills be removed, my unfailing love for you will not be shaken, nor will my covenant of peace be removed. Got it? Good. I want you to understand, even when the mountains are shaken and the hills removed, that doesn't change my love for you. Okay? It might change you, but that doesn't change my love for you, nor my covenant of peace be removed. And what's most important for you guys to really understand is that I have compassion on you. Might not feel like it, but I have compassion on you. Sometimes tough love doesn't feel good, but it still is compassion. Like a father's compassion for a child. I do have compassion on you. It's a quality that's hard to find in this world anymore, isn't it? That's why it seems kind of odd that I could have compassion on you. Because you don't find it very much in the world anymore, do you? So, most important, especially for some people right now, whenever you're feeling weak and wounded, okay, I'm talking to the weak and the wounded right now at this very moment, even in replay, for the weak and wounded, when you're feeling weak and wounded, you can come confidently into my presence to receive abundant love and peace. If you're weak and wounded, do not let that scare you off of coming confidently into my presence. I like it when you're weak and wounded. Now I can help. How is a doctor going to help a patient that's perfectly fine? No, a doctor helps the weak and the wounded. So, what good is it if you're not weak and wounded? I can't help you. I'm here to help the weak and the wounded. And when you are feeling weak and wounded, you can come confidently into my presence to receive abundant love and peace. Okay, now you're here watching this show. You subscribed. You like at Facebook. You follow. You follow me on YouTube, right? So because you are one of my followers, right? You're a follower. And because you are one of my followers, the Holy Spirit is in you. You know me. You know I'm real. You have this new spark inside of you. And because you are now one of my followers, you decided to be one of my followers. You subscribed. You're here at the show. You're being active. Okay. Because you are one of my followers now, this new little special little thing inside of you, the Holy Spirit now is in you. You know that your prayers are heard, that they have power. Okay. So now that you are one of my followers, the Holy Spirit now is in you. It equips and empowers you to do far more than you could ever do before you came here to this show. before you found out for sure. Now you can do far more than you could ever do before. So don't be intimidated by challenging circumstances and tough times, because that's what's coming, is challenging circumstances and tough times. But I'm telling you, don't be intimidated by those challenging circumstances or those tough times. The third person of the Godhead now lives inside of you. You are no longer dead in Christ. You are alive. Saturday night, alive in Christ. The third person now lives inside of you, doesn't it? If it does, then you need to ponder the implications of this glorious truth, because it is. It is a glorious truth. It's the truth. Nobody believes me, but it's the truth. The people that do believe me are blessed when they do, huh? Huh? You know what? We got to take a second here. How important is it to believe in God and the difference? Believe God. Well, you can believe in a cartoon. What's a good analogy? It's just there's a huge difference between believing in God, that he exists, and actually believing the words he says and believing the man when he tells you, I am God, and you believe him. Something miraculous happens to you. Give it a try. You got nothing to lose. And when you do, that Holy Spirit now is in you. It equips and empowers you to do far more than you could ever do before you came to the show. I'm telling you, don't be intimidated by your challenging circumstances and tough times. They are the opportunities. They are not challenging circumstances. They are opportunities. Tough times, opportunities. When you start living that way, you see your challenging times and your tough times as opportunities. That's that third person that lives inside you. The Godhead, the Holy Spirit now resides inside you. You have been raptured. You are looking at me in the clouds. You are caught up with me in the clouds. You know I exist, that I am here. Knowing that gives you that third person inside of you now. I just put a third person inside of you, didn't I? It's that person that gives peace and courage. It's that person that knows that I'm here, acknowledges my presence, tells you how to find. Oh. I got so much here. Ponder the implications of this truth. I am telling you the truth. I am the truth. When you're pondering the implications of this, and you're really grasping how true this really is, and that you are truly picked, you're here, you're blessed. When that sinks in, you can do much more than you think possible when you walk in my ways, asking the Spirit inside, the helper now, that third person I just created inside you, ask that strength inside you to strengthen you as you go step by step with me. Okay? Ask the helper inside you, ask the Holy Spirit to strengthen you as you go step by step, one day at a time with me. The Spirit writes on the tablet of your heart not only to bless you, but also to draw others to me. So when you realize that I'm here and you get that Holy Spirit inside you, you're that rapture, you know that you're caught up with me now, that draws others to me. That tablet of your heart blesses you. Of course, it blesses you, right? You accept the blessing, you see it. Not only does it bless you, it also draws others to me. So when you are with people who don't know me, the Holy Spirit can make you a living letter from me. Did you know that? Did you know you guys can be a living letter from me? That you are a living letter from me, written not with ink, but with the Spirit of the living God on the tablet of your heart? Oh, did you just get signed on the tablet of your heart? Hmm? Did it make sense there? That you are a letter written from me, written not with ink, but with the Spirit. You are written with the Spirit on the tablet of your heart. Awesome. You guys got it. Thank you so much. Thanks. You guys can do much more than you think possible when you walk in my ways. Ask the Helper to strengthen you as you go step by step with me. The Spirit writes on the tablet of your heart not only to bless you, but to draw others to me. One of the shortest but most effective prayers is, "Help me, Holy Spirit." Use this prayer as often as you need, inviting it now to bring gospel truths alive to you. The gospel truths will now come alive to you. You have the Holy Spirit in you now. The third person that I just put in there, didn't I? Oh, God. How many people got that? Good. Oh. I might have to wrap it up there. I can't. Here, I got one last thing to say to you guys. Here, I gotta wrap it up because, thank you. You guys really helped me. When I help you and you accept it, that helps me. Where was the other thing I wanted to tell you guys? Where'd it go? I can't find it now. I'm rattled now, so I think that's it. Wow. Some people got it. I am so thankful. I am so thankful that you guys got it. Oh, books from Bible were removed by God that kings would seek out truth. The more we seek, the more revealed. His books never end. That's right. The Bible is there's so many meanings in there that you could open up the Bible at any part and it still pertains. It just has so much in there. But I like that. But there have been books removed from the Bible, yes. July is the month for kings born. July is named from oh cool, you guys. What's the strongest part of the body? That's relative. The mind is the strongest part of the body, if you're conscious, that is, because a lot of people aren't very aware. They're not conscious. They're they're wrapped up in the cell phone, they're wrapped up in the news, they're just, they're in a different world. You're in a different world too. You've got one foot in the spiritual realm and one foot in the physical, and it's hard to do. It's a pleasure to do, but it's not easy. So that's why we do these exercises. That's why we do this. I'm so. Uh, whew. Yeah, I gotta go have a cigarette. That was a rebel. But I'm so grateful that you guys are here. Okay, so thankful, and I think maybe some of you are thankful that I'm here too. Because the world could use some help right about now, don't you think? Get that light out of there while I wrap this up. Okay, so that's going to be it for tonight. That was a good one. Wow, I can't believe that happened. I wasn't expecting it. Oh, excuse me, I'm very tired. So, I love you guys. You understand. Quit tripping about your future. Quit tripping about your inadequacies. I know it's part of the way we're programmed. So it's easy to slip right back into it. I understand. So next time you find yourself tripping about your inadequacies, don't. Um, Next time you're tripping about the future, know where your future is. Despite what happens here on earth, know where your future is. Find the peace that transcends the headlines of today, because the headlines of today are geared to make you fearful. You have nothing to fear. You really don't. The only thing most people are afraid of is pain. And when you learn to embrace pain and you understand that it's molding and building character, well, therefore now pain has lost some of its sting, not all of it. It still hurts, but you know that it's making you stronger. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right? So you endure some pain. You're not dead. You're stronger. Okay, so it's important that you practice these disciplines. They're simple stuff. They're simple, basic concepts, just hard to practice. Okay, and it takes practice. It doesn't just happen on the first one. You might have success on the first one, and then not success on the second, and then you feel inadequate. Don't do that. Don't feel inadequate if it didn't work the second time. You just keep getting up and going forward, okay? If I have to fall down in public and embarrass myself over and over and over and over again and not feel inadequate, I think you guys can do the same, okay? So don't feel inadequate. Quit tripping, future tripping past. That builds anxiety. The moment you feel your anxiety coming on, come over to the channel, pop up the picture, look at it, and breathe for a minute. You don't even necessarily need to hear my voice. You can if that works for you. But find the tail end of any show where I do a reading and take 5 minutes, click on, and just listen to a reading if that's what helps you find your peace. Okay? It's a very, very turbulent world, and there aren't many stops along the way for peace, right? So we got to grab peace when we can find it. And that's here at this show. We talk about a lot of disturbing things, okay? But it's important that you know that they're all part of the script. All right? Scriptures, the script to a movie. All right? You're watching a real life action movie and you're a real life actor in that movie. Okay? And there's a script to the movie. There's an opening, there's a middle, there's a climax, there's a script to the movie. And if you read the script, it tells you how the movie ends. So the movie ends. But in the script, it tells you after the movie, we're all going out for popcorn and sodas and stuff. If you realized you were in a movie and you want to go out afterwards with me. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck thinking that you live that you live carnally, egotistically inside your mind, that you are the center of your universe. You're not. We need to practice consideration for others, compassion for others, forgiveness for others. I struggle with having advanced knowledge. I struggle with my patience. I used to have excellent patience. Now I have to rebuild it all over again because I'm in a hurry. I got stuff to do. I take care of a lot of business in one day. All right. I got lots to do. I need sirens really on my car to get traffic to kind of get out the way, if you see what I'm saying. But it's important that I need to understand that the rest of the world doesn't get it yet. They know not what they do. We know they don't, and it can be frustrating. Okay, I know. I deal with it myself. So when you find yourself getting frustrated because they know not what they do, breathe, look at this, relax, be in my presence. Take a moment to take your mind off of it. It's also a diversionary tactic to take your mind off of uh, what you're tripping on, okay, what you're stressing on. To take your mind off of that course for a minute is good for you. Okay, and there's all kinds of tools to do it. I'm giving you some of those tools. The best one is this. Jesus help me. These people are driving me nuts. They have no advanced knowledge. They don't know that their time is precious. They're asleep at the intersection, and it's frustrating the hell out of me. You could drop F-bombs. You could do whatever kind of praying you want as long as you are sincere. The more sincere, doesn't matter your language. I drop some language myself, okay? I understand. You can be yourself with me. I'm being myself with you, aren't I? I'm putting everything on the line so I can be myself with you. That's how important that you be yourself at the cost of your life, okay? Go out there. Go live. All right? You guys are living abundantly now. You have the Holy Spirit. You see me in the clouds. You're caught up with me in the clouds. It's fascinating stuff, isn't it? You're caught up with me in the clouds. And if you see me in the clouds here, and it's fascinating, and you're caught up, you're intrigued by it, like a good book, like a good movie, you're caught up. That means you got the Holy Spirit inside of you. You're getting excited because it's really real. Yeah, get excited. Rejoice. It's really real. I am with you. The more you trust and lean on me, the more you will find that I am indeed with you, and you will be even more blessed. Okay? It's just how it works. If you believe me, you're blessed. If you don't believe me, well, then you're still doubting. Okay? And you don't find that peace that transcends everything. It's only the amount of peace you get is the amount of trust you put into me. So it's an equal amount. You put in, on a scale of 1 to 10, you put in 4 on your trust meter. Well, you get 4 on your peace meter. But if you go all in on your trust meter, you will get paid dividends tenfold on your peace meter. Okay? It's designed that way. You guys have been waiting for this for so long. And now it's time to receive by believing. You got to believe in order to receive, right? Can you see how important it is to believe? There's only one person that can bring this stuff to you. the man himself, the man who's talking to you right now. I love you guys. I miss you guys. God bless you guys. And until my next show, I will be back. I am already back. And I am still to come. Brian Knight is coming like a lion. And he's gone. Love you, bye. Where's the Lord's fire? I think you just heard it.